Welcome back to Real Ag Radio here and the Farmer Rapid Fire, brought to you by Pioneer Seeds Canada. Joining me now is Colleen Redlick. She's out of Saskatoon for Pioneer Seeds Canada. How are you, Colleen?
I'm great, Lindsay. Thanks for having me.
All right, so we are rounding out April. It's pretty exciting. The seeding season is just ahead. What keeps you busy on a week like this?
Just calming everybody down, I think, is number one. It's a beautiful sunshiny day here in Saskatoon, and people are out doing some soil temperatures and that kind of stuff and getting excited and ready to seed. But, especially with canola, we want to just take a breath, realize, it is still the last week in April, and we've got some time to plan and get everything going for a really good canola crop. We don't need to be rushing into the field in my area right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I think that holds for a lot of areas. What's the moisture situation like for your region?
You know what? My region is large and variable, is how I would characterize it. So some areas I go down to kind of that Hanley area, and they are in, drought central, I guess, and we're already starting to talk about rain and think about preserving, what we've got for moisture. And then I go all the way up to the northeast to Aylsham, Hudson Bay, and it's a completely different story. So all over the map and just managing things, area by area, and in some cases field by field.
hmm So one of the things definitely that we heard today on the rapid fire from those farmers is what might be different this year. Crop prices definitely aren't what they were, and input prices have climbed, and so farmers are really focusing on that. On every acre, on those dollars and cents. How do you approach something like this in a year? What do you have sort of in the works to try and evaluate, how farmers spend those input dollars?
Yeah, I think we're definitely hearing that too, right? We haven't seen a lot of big swings in crop rotation. I think people are just looking to really maximize, what the ROI is going to be on that acre. So for us, and I'm in meetings today, you can maybe tell from the background, I'm in an office here, and we are finalizing our trial program. And I think a lot of farmers are doing a lot of things on farm as well to help them better understand, where the inputs are going, where they're getting their ROI. So things like fertility trials are really easy ones that growers can do. And obviously multi-year data under different conditions is something we're always encouraging. From a Pioneer side and Corteva side, we've got some, fungicide trials going on to look at applications and where, timing, where you're going to get your best ROI, when it's maybe better to skip it. And of course, on the hybrid side, that's always of interest, right? So we've got 3 new hybrids launching in the Liberty space this year: P520L, P519L, and P617SL. It's a mouthful, but it's lots of new exciting things. So, putting lots of side-by-sides out with our growers, as well as our full PKP product knowledge plot trials, just to help them understand how the hybrid can really be utilized to maximize ROI on the acre as well. So it's exciting times. I think a lot of what's going on this week is that kind of planning for us and hopefully for a lot of growers. One piece of advice I would give them, just because, I'm talking to all of these guys and they are guys and gals, they are really excited about getting the trials out. Don't bite off more than you can chew, right? So it's great this time of year to have all these big plans, but sometimes when you have a trial on every field, it makes harvest a little complicated. So I think focus on, do what we can and make sure we get some great results so we can better understand where we're putting those inputs and how we're going to get a better ROI.
Absolutely. Good advice. Definitely, it can seem really exciting at the beginning, but then you got to realize you got to take this all the way through and manage what harvest is going to look like for sure. Now, you did mention, of course, a big area that you cover, variability for sure. What would be your one piece of advice in thinking about that canola? Do you really want to wait till that soil is warm? What's your best piece of advice for seeding before everybody heads to the field?
I think, yeah, you want to wait until, you've got decent, stable, warmer soil temperatures. I don't think we need to be too excited going in too early. There has been some work done kind of showing maybe a little earlier in May can be better than going on the later side. But make sure, you're waiting until the time is right. There's always the neighbor out scratching canola in at the end of April, and everybody gets really excited to go. But we do know that canola is the most sensitive to pests, and we think about flea beetles that we've had in the last few years when it's small and it's growing slowly. So when you have those warmer conditions, especially up my area here where we have a little more moisture, get some nice warm soil, get that crop growing. And these, larger, aggressively growing crops are really great for outgrowing pests and getting your crop established and off to that great start. So practice a little patience. No one likes being patient, but I think that's probably, the best advice for the last week of April here for these guys.
Mm-hmm. And really good advice when you think about that flea beetle pressure. A slow growing canola plant is just, no one likes having to go spray either. So,
It's
yeah,
it's a sitting duck. Yes,
it
it's just
really
a
is.
yes.
But
Insecticides are our least
yeah,
favorite thing to spray.
exactly, right. And but you're right, when, under good conditions, that canola can be growing so quickly and just really overcome a lot of that pressure. So it's lovely to see it, roar through some of those growth stages, but we need some heat first. So we'll wait for that. We'll try.
I like roar through. Maybe that should be a
Yeah. There you go.
marketing
Yeah,
campaign.
you go right ahead. You can use that one. All right, Colleen, thanks so much for joining me here on Real Ag Radio and the Farmer Rapid Fire. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.
Too. Thanks, Lindsay.
All right, we'll end it there, and we'll be back with more Real Ag Radio right after this.